So this is where I'll go ahead and begin the diagramming a question portion of our show. So the resource today is how to diagram a test question. And if you're thinking I haven't diagrammed a sentence since 7th grade English, this is it. It's not that complicated, but it's similar. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and advance our screen here. So the test question breakdown. So here's a sample test question. This is very simple. Modify the page margins of the document to the following. Left and right should be 0.3 inches. Top and bottom should be 0.7 inches. This is pretty straightforward. But with every single test question, what you need to do in your head is ask yourself these 3 questions. There are 3 buckets of information in every single question. And your job is to sort out the words in the question, put the right ones in the right buckets, and then you're going to be 75% closer to answering the test question correctly. So here's how it works. These are my buckets. Where? Where are they asking me to do this work? Where in the Word document am I supposed to be looking? Am I looking at a single word? Are they asking me to reformat or change the color of a certain piece of text? Is it a paragraph that they're asking me to affect? Is it a bulleted list? Is it a picture? Is it page 3? Is it an image on page 4? Is it a settings wide, like a document wide setting? Like where, like get the scope of the question in your head. Where are they asking me to do this work? Second bucket, what exactly is the ask? What is the task that they want me to do? So in this question, well, let's get to this question in a second. So the where, the what, and the details. The details are, once I figure out what they're asking, what are the specific details of how they want me to accomplish that? Are they asking me to apply a specific color? If so, what is it? Specific margins or indents, what are they? A specific picture style, what is it? So the details of that change. So once I figure out what all of these different words are and which buckets they go in, I have a pretty good idea of how to proceed with the test question. Okay, so in this sample question, modify the page margins of the document to the following. What's the where? And you can answer in the chat if you want. Where are they asking us to make this change? Is it a paragraph level change? Is it a word level change? Is it a whole document level change? Is it a page level change? Is it a section level change? What's the scope of this change? Where are we doing this? Anybody have any ideas? All right, go into the chat. Yes, Rachel and Beth both say document level. So when you're changing the margins of a page, unless they specifically say, just do it for this one section, they're asking for a whole document. So of the document is the key word here, right? Of the document. So we're changing the margins of the document to this. So the where is the whole document. Now, the next question is, what are they asking us to do? What's the ask here? What's the task? What is my job? So we're gonna, okay, go into the chat. Yes, changing the margins, modifying the margins. So we need to, so if I know I need to change the margins. This is a whole document thing. I need to change the margins. What tab do I go for that? What tab does the margins button live on? Anybody happen to have it just in their head? Rachel guesses home. So I just happen to have a Word document open here because I was taking attendance. So I'll bring it over here. So the home tab has font and it has paragraph, but these are all small, right? Font changes apply to the specific chunk of font. Paragraph changes apply to a specific chunk of a paragraph. So another guess in the chat is the layout tab. Yes, layout and design. These are the 2 big picture tabs that we have. Design is more of the artsy kinds of stuff like color and style, and layout is where your margins live and your orientation and your paper size and all of that other stuff. So under the margins, it wants me to change my margin. So that's where the margins live. So that's the where are we doing this work? And that's the what are we doing? So now the next question is, what are the details? What are we changing the margins to? So if I already have, I need to modify the page margins. Whoops, sorry. If I'm going to modify the page margins, that's what I'm going to do of the document. That's where I'm going to do it. The rest, the leftover words, are your details. We're going to change the left and the right margins to 0.3 inches, and we're going to change the top and the bottom to 0.7 inches. So if I were doing this work, I would say, okay, I'm going to go to the layout tab, I'm going to go to the margins, and I'm going to look for one that's 0.3 left and right and 0.7 top and bottom. And if I don't see that, then I'm going to have to go to my custom margins and change it that way. So that's looking at a test question and reading the question all the way to the end, sorting the words out into the buckets. And then if anything's left over, that's like, you know, building your IKEA bookshelf and you get to the end and you've got like 4 or 5 screws. You're like, ooh, that's not a good sign. Same with diagramming the sentence this way. I get my where, my what, my details, and if there's a whole bunch of words left over, I have missed something. So I have 2 little examples for us to work on here. So if you go to YouTube and you Google geometrics practice exams, Word, like MO100 practice exams, there are some really, really helpful videos out there. I'll pop you a link in a minute where you can see test exams, test questions. So these are not official Microsoft Certiport exams, but they are practice exams that a curriculum company developed that are designed to be as close as humanly possible to the test experience. So here's an example. I just grabbed a screenshot of one of these. So this is project 1 of 7. There are 5 tasks in this project. So on this pretend exam, this person is going to get 7 different projects. And by projects, they mean documents like this. And there's going to be tasks to do inside them. So I grabbed this screenshot of project number 1, task number 2. Here's the task. In the second sentence on the first page, so here's my 2-page document, link the text log cabin to this web page. So let's do our trick. 3 buckets. First bucket, well, I'm going to zoom in first and get a good look at the question. First bucket, where? Where are we doing this work? The test question tells me exactly the where is. So you can unmute your mic, you can shout out the answer, you can pop it in the chat. What's your opinion? Where are we doing this work? Popping over to the chat. Second sentence on the first page. Yes, in the second sentence on the first page. So I'm going to say that is my where. So that's where I need to get my cursor. Number 1, I know that that's where the work needs to go. So first page, I click on page 1, I come here to the second sentence. There's the text log cabin. Okay, awesome. So that's my where. Number 2, what are they asking me to do exactly? So what is the ask here? What are they going to ask me to do now that I'm in the right place? Yes, add a link. So the what is this bit. Link the text log cabin to a web page. So this is what I need to do. So then I've got some stuff left over here, which can only be the details, which is what's the link? What am I linking to? So now I've got this entire task broken down into my 3 buckets. Where? I'm going to go to the second sentence on the first page and I'm going to find the text log cabin. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to create a link to the web page, Wikipedia, log cabin. So that's what I'm going to do. And the details are the actual website here. So just for fun, we've already gotten as a team here to the log cabin. What tab would you go to create a hyperlink to this Wikipedia page for the words log cabin here? And interestingly, this sentence avoids the keyword. Any ideas? Where do we go to create a hyperlink? I will bring up Word here. We've got home, we've got insert, we've got draw, design, layout, references, mailings. Anybody guess? Insert, correct. So insert is the keyword here. We are going to go to the insert tab, use the link button, and then we are going to create a link to this website. So the key here is when you are reading a test question, read the whole thing, sort it into all of the buckets, and then start moving around your screen. When I said time management is an issue, what Word will often do, or what the test will often do, is it will put the where at the way end, or the what at the way end, and front load the sentence or the task with all kinds of details. And you have to read all the way through them before you know what to do with them. And that is them trying to get you to jump ahead and waste time, to think you know what they're asking, and then go and get started on that task, and then get halfway through it and go, this isn't shaping up the way I thought it would. And then you go back and you read the whole question and you're like, I assumed based on the first half of the sentence that this is what I needed to do, and I was wrong. So don't fall into that trap. Read the entire sentence, sort it out into the buckets, and then get started. I know it feels like you're wasting time, but at the end of the day, you're actually saving time. So let's do it again. Here's my second one. So new task, same document, different task. Now we're on task number 5. Apply the simple frame black style to the floor plan on the first page. So let's zoom in a little bit here. Let's do our buckets. Where are we doing this work? Apply the simple frame black style to the floor plan on the first page. Yep, in the chat, I'm seeing first page. So that's part of the way there. What on the first page? So, you know, my motto in Word is, or in any of the Microsoft stuff, you got to select it if you want to affect it, right? So what are we selecting on page 1 so that we can affect it? Right? The floor plan. It's this image over here. I'll back up a little bit. So this floor plan over here, this is an image. Until I click that image, I'm not going to get my picture tools, and I'm not going to be able to apply any frames. I'm not going to be able to do anything. So first page, I go to page 1, I click the picture. That's the where. Page 1, the image. Now, I know I've told the story to many people. I'll tell it to you again, just because it always burns my toast. I almost missed a whole bunch of points on the Word expert exam because they did one of those questions on me where they gave me all the details first, and then at the very, very end, they told me where. But I did the amateur mistake of just jumping ahead. So I picked the image that I had been working on, that the question before had asked me to work on, and I applied all my effects and my styles and my colors and my things. And I got all the way to the end of the question, and it said, apply all of this stuff to the second image on page 2. And I had done it all to the first image on page 2 because I didn't read all the way to the end. So make sure just getting like page 1 is not enough. You have to get all the way to the thing that they want you to affect. So the where here is the floor plan on the first page. That's the where we need to be. Number 2, what are we doing? What is this question asking us to do? So as we read through this, apply the simple frame black style to the floor plan on the first page. We are applying a style to this picture that we have selected, right? And now it looks like we've put everything in the buckets, but sometimes the details are buried inside the what. So in this case, they're saying, what we're going to do is we're going to apply a picture style to this picture that we selected here, to this floor plan. And the specific picture style is simple frame black. So what they've done here with these questions is they've made it so tricky. Like they could have said, select the floor plan on the first page and apply the picture style, simple frame black. And then it would be, where am I going? What am I doing? Which one do I want? And it's very bam, bam, bam. But the test isn't going to do that. It's going to hit you with details. It's going to make you fish things out. So I'll just go over here real quick, and I will come down here, and I'm just going to insert an online picture of a koala bear, because that's fun. All right, here he is. I will insert him. Oh, dang it. I don't want to put him in there. I want to put him down here. Insert an online picture. Oh, I'll just go to animals here, and I'll take these dogs. Seems like a good idea. Okay, there they are. And I'm going to make this much smaller. We'll just do it this way. I'll just make it much smaller so you can actually see it. Okay. And I'm gonna, okay, so there's my picture, right? A picture of my puppies in here. So I select the picture, I go to my picture tools format, I come over here to picture styles, and I know I need simple frame black. So I look for the black ones and then I start mousing over them to find out what their names are. Simple frame black, there it is. So the details are sometimes you're not going to see them anywhere. You're just going to need to go hunting for them. The details are more like the confirmation that you're on the right track, right? So if it says, I think I need to go to picture styles, I'm not totally sure I'm in the right place, and I start looking over these and I mouse over them, and sure enough, simple frame black matches simple frame black. So that's some nice confirmation that we're on the right page. Okay, any questions about that? So far, so good? Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to drop you that link to this practice exam that's on YouTube. It is like 35 minutes long, and it is all 7 of the projects, and it's somebody walking you through doing all of the tasks. They don't break it out for you the way I do, but here's what I do. I go to this exam, and I'll just click on it here, and yeah. Oh, for heaven's sakes. MO100 geometrics practice test. It's this one. Yeah, it's here. And I'll just go ahead and skip the ads. And here's how I use this. Here's how I would suggest that you use it. Go ahead and play the exam, right? Go all the way back to the beginning here. So when you play the exam, wait until you get to the first test question. And before they start giving you the answers, right? Go to the first test question. And when they display that question, pause it. And then ask yourself, where am I doing this work? What is the task at hand? What are the details that will help me complete the task? And then play the exam and watch them get the right answer and compare what they did to what you did and see if you are misinterpreting the test questions or zigging when you should have zagged, right? And because you've not seen these before, this is a really nice way to test yourself and see how accurate you are in interpreting from the test question which tab you need to go to, where you need to go in the test, how you need to proceed. So I will go ahead and drop this link in the chat for you guys. Share, copy, go to the chat. You go ahead and paste that in there. I would recommend that you go to this link and then bookmark it. And then you can have that resource anytime you want. Go ahead and close out of here. And that is my quick and dirty how to diagram a test question for maximum efficiency and effectiveness.